Hey everyone, welcome back to another Wednesday Live, another episode of Candid with Candace. And tonight we are talking all about fragrance. This is going to be the Fragrance 101 video that a lot of people have been wanting from me for over a year. So finally doing it. I will give everyone a second to come in. If you ask me what I'm drinking tonight, it's just sweet tea. I don't drink during the week anymore. Okay. First of all, I want some more people come in, but before we get into fragrance, we're gonna get into this look. Cause she's serving. She's giving. Ooh. Okay. So I am somewhat consistent. I mean, I guess I can't even call it consistent. This is only the second week in a row, or maybe like technically third week in a row that I have brought the live back. It feels good to be doing it back on Wednesdays, but to be very honest, the only reason I'm really able to do it on Wednesdays is because my Wednesday shows I can't watch until Thursday. So I don't have cable. So I can't watch Snowfall until tomorrow on Hulu. And I can't watch Abbott Elementary until tomorrow. So it works for me. And I don't watch a Marriage at First Sight anymore. So all of those things used to be on Wednesdays, which used to hinder me and my consistency of doing lives on Wednesdays because I didn't want to miss my shows. So that's why I can do Wednesdays. Okay, I get asked about fragrance quite a bit. I don't know how I kind of became a fragrance girly, but I've really been a fragrance girl my whole life. And I'm hoping that after tonight's live and conversation, a lot of you will realize you all are more fragrance girlies or guys than you think. You just need a little bit more understanding of the structure of fragrances. As always, feel free to ask questions. You can put questions in the question box or directly put them into the comments. I will do my best to answer everything. Of course, we know I like to, if you are new here, I'm a retired makeup artist turned a consistently inconsistent beauty and lifestyle influencer. My biggest thing is education. I want you to be informed consumers so you can make informed buying decisions. I'm not someone to just push anything on you just because. So with that being said, if you see me looking at notes, it's not that I don't know what I'm talking about. I like to reference things so I can give you things and not miss anything. I put my glasses on. You know we're being real serious. Okay. So, when it comes to fragrance, there are different types. You can have an eau de toilette. So if you see EDT, an eau de parfum, an EDP, or an eau de cologne. So your eau de toilette, I generally do not like eau de toilettes. It is water-based, where eau de parfum is fragrance-based. And I always think when I see EDT, when I see eau de toilette, I think toilet water. Don't ask me why, I just do. And I'm not really a fan. Eau de toilettes, if you see the same fragrance and it comes in EDT and EDP, some people will tend to just lean towards the EDT because they're like, oh, it costs less. Well, it costs less because it's water-based and it's not fragrance-based, but it's not going to last as long. It's not going to wear the same. So a lot of people will buy eau de toilettes because they're cheaper, and then they spray too much of it because they feel like they can't smell themselves, and then everyone else is accosted by the fragrance, and then you end up doing too much. So I'm going to talk more about eau de toilettes later, like when they are appropriate and like when they work. But for the most part, I'm not going to buy an eau de toilette. Okay. So there's that. I talk a lot about notes. And some people are always confused, like, what do you mean by fragrance notes? Fragrance notes literally are the fragrant elements that make up your fragrance. So there are base notes, there are middle or heart notes, and then there are top notes. And they all actually wear differently. So your base note is going to last the longest. Those are going to be your things that really carry the fragrance. Something like when you see vanilla, sandalwood, cedarwood, an oud, a musk, more woodsy elements like moss and things like that. Those are going to be your base of the fragrance. And then you'll build from there. Then you have like your middle or your heart notes. That's where we start adding in like some woodsy elements and things like that, and then like some more florals. So like your florals, your spices, and your herbs, and like a little bit. And your middle note probably lasts maybe like 20 to 30 minutes. And then you have your top notes or the head of your fragrance, and that's going to be what like your light florals, your citrusy, and those things tend to like wear off maybe like 10 to 15 minutes. So a lot of times if you just sniff something and you're like, you don't necessarily like it, you probably woods, vanilla, those are your base. Your middle notes, that's going to be some florals, some spices, some herbs, and then your top note is going to be like your light florals, your citrus, things like that. Base notes, longest lasting. Middle notes, about 20, 30 minutes. Head or top notes, about 10 to 15 minutes. So allow your fragrance time to settle. And I'm sure you all have heard before, everyone's body chemistry is different. So a fragrance, the way it settles on me is not going to settle the same on you. There are many factors that come into play. Your diet actually comes into play. If you are someone that eats a lot of spicy foods and things like that, you have to think about it. All of those things come out of your pores. So when you think about even like Middle Eastern people, a lot of them have a lot of oud-based fragrances. Part of it, like they have a shit ton of turmeric and curry and things like that that are always coming out of their pores. So they tend to have heavier fragrances, like a oud and a musk and things like that, right? Or a lot of maybe like Southeast Asians or, Asian cultures. I love a good, I like a good musky base and then like an Asian floral in the middle. I think it's like a good juxtaposition of like male and like masculine and feminine fragrances, even though when it comes to fragrance, there really is no gender. It either smells good or it don't. It either works with you or it doesn't. But yes. What else did I want to talk about? Okay. Okay, I covered that. Okay. So on top of like your skin chemistry, hormones play a big part. Someone asked me one time, hey, there's this fragrance. I normally love it, but now I'm on my period and I hate it. Is that a thing? It very much is a thing. Your hormones and where you are in your cycle will not only change how a fragrance wears on you, it'll change whether you like it or not. Okay, so Jennifer has a question. She says, how can you make your perfume last all day without applying an offensive amount? Very great question. One way you can do that, honestly, is by layering. And that actually starts in the shower. Couple of things. Layering your fragrances, and one, making sure your body yourself is moisturized. Your fragrance is not going to last, it's not going to stick, it's not going to adhere to dry, ashy skin. It's just not. So at the same time, if you're starting with moisturizing and hydrating your body, you want to use, a good like heavy body oil or a body butter, and try to use something that works with your fragrance. If it's not from the same exact fragrance, the same, brand, use similar notes. I'm glad you made that point, because a lot of you may know that I love Zen in a Jar. And Zen in a Jar has 1,000,001 different body oils and body butters, and I absolutely love them. And I love them because they layer so well with a lot of the fragrances that I already have. So, for example, I gotta put my glasses on so I can read, but it's still a look. Still a look. Okay, so I have different examples from Zen in a Jar. So I have like this body oil here. I have like these Zen Drop, which this has had me in a chokehold the past week. And then I have a traditional body butter. What I love about them is she literally puts on there, like, yes, they have different names like Empress, Posh, Material Girl, but I know exactly what notes are in it. So this Posh one, it has lavender, rose, and vanilla. If I know I have a fragrance that works well with this, or is kind of like in this family, I'm going to put this body butter on first, and then I'm going to layer with my perfume. This one, Empress, in a chokehold, mango and lavender. And to be very honest, surprisingly, I actually am not a lavender girl, but this mango and lavender hits. And then Material Girl is spicewood, oud, and fresh florals. Oh my God. This smells like a woman who's on a rendezvous with a man who got money. Yeah, I like it. I love it. So one way to ensure that your fragrance will last is making sure your body is moisturized, making sure that you are layering with a good, nice nourishing or emollient body oil or body butter. And then, so you're not, like I say, like trying to smell like a stink bomb. Make sure that the notes are in the same family. I think sometimes people miss out on that. Back to notes. I know a lot of people are always just like, I don't really know what notes are. A lot of people always ask me for fragrance suggestions. And the first thing, if I ask someone, what notes do you like? And they're like, I don't know notes. I'm going to ask you probably for like the top 3 fragrances that are your favorite. And then I literally go and look up each one, and I look up all the notes, and then I look for commonalities. A very good resource if you're going to do that, whether you just like look up a fragrance and just Google it, but most sites, but I know my go-to, not saying that they have every single fragrance, but one of my go-tos when I am looking up fragrance notes and fragrance families is Sephora. There are a number of sites where they have fragrances where they literally will put them in families. So you either have warm florals, like woods and ouds, woodsy. Then you have like light florals. You have like citrus, and then you have like gourmands. Gourmands is like your vanilla, cakey, really sweet things like that. Woodsy, that's going to be like your moss. and like maybe like certain like what are the other like mossy and like garden like herbaceous type things. Your warm florals, that's probably going to be like a mix of like a sandalwood and then like an Asian floral like I like. So there are different families, and that's so like go to Sephora. Pretty much go to Sephora, and if you have a fragrance that you like, go click on it and scroll down, and it literally will tell you what family it belongs to. Now I'm not gonna lie, sometimes they be wrong. Like I have one that is so spicy, and they tell me it's like some soft floral. You are fucking lying to me. Oil. This oil is from Zen in a Jar. It is Material Girl, Spiced Wood, Oud, and Fresh Florals. And if you were talking about the other one, it is Empress, and it is Mango and Lavender. If you are not following Zen in a Jar, if you are not buying Zen in a Jar, you are nuts. They're so good. But yes, go to Sephora. Look up a fragrance that you like. Like I said, take your top 3 that you wear all the time and that you love. And if you go scroll down and look at the notes, I guarantee you probably have commonalities. Start looking for more of those if you want to branch out. I mean, it's more than fine to just stick with what you like. Perfectly fine. I do feel like every woman should have like a signature, like scent. Like a lot of times people know when I come in the room like something like I get like the most compliments, like some of the most compliments on Tom Ford Noir de Noir. Baby, Candace is in the room if you smell that. Or Nest Black Tulip. Puts the niggas in a chokehold. Figure 4. Like, I love it. Have a signature fragrance, like something that makes you feel unstoppable, right? But of course, I feel like fragrance is like denim or sunglasses. There's always something for a mood and a moment. Fragrance is also very personal, and I think fragrance is like a feeling, and it like tells a story. That's why a lot of times when I sniff things, like my mind goes to like, what is the scenario? Where would I be when I'm wearing this? How would I feel when I'm wearing this? And I think fragrance is the last part of your ensemble. Like it's given a mood and a moment. Like what is, like I'm trying to think what like my hair and makeup is giving today. I think it's giving Yves Saint Laurent Mon Petit. It's good. It's sweet. She's bubbly. She's not doing too much. She's flirtatious. But yes, there's that. What else can I say about fragrance? Okay, so I normally don't like eau de toilettes, but sometimes during the spring and summer months, I'll do an eau de toilette. One, because I'm probably showering 2-3 times a day anyway, because it's hot as the devil's dick outside and I'm sweating. 2, like it's kind of like light and crisp, and sometimes a lot of eau de toilettes, because they're lighter and a little more crisp, they remind me of like a crisp white button-down shirt or like soft linen or something like that. I like those, like sometimes like spring, summer months. Another thing about your fragrance lasting, not only putting it just on your body, really put it into your clothes too. I'll spray my clothes down before I get dressed and let that absorb into my garments, and that helps as well. So not necessarily like on my skin, but it's also embedded in my garments. And then ladies, whether you have bundles, units or not, y'all are forgetting fragrance in your hair. I think a lot of women don't want to, because they're like, oh, like most fragrances, like they think like wet or like alcohol based, and they think it's gonna like mess their hair up. Please put fragrance in your hair, please. I mean, it's also part of like the divine feminine mystique. It's part of the thing. Why would I be given all of this and you lean in to hug me and then my hair smells? That is a no-no. So please make sure, spray your whole body, like make it a cloud. Let's see. I feel like for MFK's price point, I need to smell like Amherst for hours. I would agree. With that being said, because of the price point for MFK, and for those that don't know, that's Maison Francis Kurkdjian. That is the brand for like Baccarat Rouge and all of those things. So I like Baccarat Rouge 540. I really enjoy the fragrance. Around this time last year, I decided I was not paying the $5 for the fragrance. I did not want to pay $300 for the fragrance. I didn't want to pay myself and get a baby one, but they have the hair perfume. That was only $85. Hello. So I got the hair fragrance. Smells just like it. It still embeds in my clothes. And niggas walk by and they still like, oh, you got on 540. I do. Hey, I might have missed it, but do you prefer to spray perfume on your skin or your clothes or both? I literally just talked about that. I do like to do my fragrance on both. I recently have been like dousing my garments, but I do also put it on pulse points, you know, like mommy taught me. But yes, I do like to do both, but I also like to layer with like body butters and oils that are in the same family. And that just helps the longevity of fragrance. But yeah, I love a good hair perfume. I just love it. You know, and I'm tiny, I'm petite. So when like people go hug me, like they're like always at my head. So I want to make sure that it smells good. So that's really, really important. I'm trying to think. Ooh, some tips for storing your fragrances. Do not store your fragrances in your bathroom. Do not put them like in windowsills or near windows. The reason being, the heat and the steam from like the bathroom and the shower, or like the heat and like from the sun, it is going to spoil your fragrance faster. I have a lot of fragrances that I've had for a very long time. They're not spoiled or anything like that, because I don't keep them in the bathroom. I keep them away from windows, and just helps with the longevity of your fragrance, and so that it doesn't break down. Another one, don't spray and then rub in. You're breaking down the molecules of the fragrance, and it's not going to last as long. Really spray and just let it sit and seep into the skin. And that's another reason why you need to be hydrated and not ashy, because it's not going to really absorb into the skin. Okay? Let's see. Do you have a general body butter that works with most fragrances? I don't think I've paid attention to like a general one. If I had to choose something that was probably emollient enough, but was kind of like neutral in fragrance, Necessaire has like a body lotion. I'll link it afterwards. I've linked it before, but Necessaire has some products that surprisingly were way more nourishing than I thought. And it really doesn't have any fragrance. So that was a great way for me to layer on. I probably think that's like the most neutral thing that I've used, because most of the body butters I have are pretty fragrant. But that one I know for sure doesn't have any fragrance. It's fragrance free and way more hydrating than I assumed it would be. Okay. Ooh, Joy says, tell me what to buy for spring and summer. Okay. Things that I'm loving right now for spring and summer. Of course, she still has me in a chokehold. Nest Black Tulip. Let's see. Let's see. See if I can pull up the notes. Nest Black Tulip is good. Aside from Nest Black Tulip, I like Nest Golden Nectar. So good. So good. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm already on Sephora's website. What do you know? Nest Black Tulip. I think Nest Black Tulip has like, I think it's like the notes that I generally like. Let's see what she says. I told you, I love me a good Asian floral. It's got black amber plum, pink pepper, and Japanese violet. So the pink pepper is going to be that little bit of spice. Got a Japanese violet. I told you I love me an Asian floral. And that black amber plum. I like a good amber and amberette are becoming one of my favorite base notes. It's really, really good. Hi, Joy. Another one that I am loving. Where did it go? Oh, I didn't bring it in here. I thought I did. No, I had to. Aha, I did. Y'all should see, like, the whole table is like full of fragrance right now. The 7 Virtues Coconut Sun. It's sweeter than I normally would go for. But for those who like sweet, it's really, really good. Let's see. Let me look at the notes. But Coconut Sun, it really is giving, it's giving beach. It is giving poolside. It's giving I'm laid out in a cabana with like some gold rimmed, like 70s style glasses. My hair is probably like this. I have on a blue triangle bikini, white toes. Yeah, that's what it's giving. That is how I like to describe fragrances. What am I feeling? What is it giving? Okay, so this one has vanilla, coconut, and something called Frangipani. I don't know what that is, but it's good. But I can tell you, this is not a complete dupe and not exactly close. I mean, it's close to Golden Nectar from Nest, but a little bit different. You definitely put me on to Nest and 7 Virtues. I love them. You know, I was very surprised. I got put on to 7 Virtues because I actually did a blind buy. I bought the Santal Vanille first. Real spicy, warm, like cashmere sweater. It's giving winter time, sitting by the fire with some hot cocoa and like a nice deep plum lip. That's what this is giving. She's good and she's spicy. And that drew me in. And then they loved the way I talked about it. So then they sent me the patchouli citrus. And then they also sent me the Coconut Sun, which is brand new. I love it. They did also send me the Santal Vanille rollerball, which I didn't realize. So if you get their rollerballs, they actually have like little gemstones. And this is Tiger's Eye, which is supposed to be calming and soothing. And it really is. So I like that. But yeah, spring, summer months, I like something like a little bit more sultry, a little bit more floral. I generally am not a vanilla girl, but you know, everybody's fragrance is just so personal. Whatever it is that you like, wear that. I know when I asked maybe a couple of weeks ago what you all's favorite fragrances were, just because like I was trying to explore and learn like different fragrances, you know, and like, you know, play around with different notes. And there were some people who had put in their favorite fragrance and they were like, oh, but like I'm basic or something like that. And I really don't think there's such a thing, because everybody's chemistry is different, and what you like, and what you love, you're gonna wear because it makes you feel a certain way. So I don't really think that's a thing, you know, because someone was like, oh, I'm a basic bitch, I still wear Clinique Happy. Okay, girl, and it probably works with her, and you probably don't even realize it's Clinique Happy unless she told you that it was Clinique Happy. That's fine. Wear what you like. When it comes to price point, I honestly don't think, I love a good luxury fragrance, but I do not think that it is always necessary to spend $200-$300 on a fragrance. I don't, especially if you're layering properly with other things. I don't think it's really necessary. For example, this brand, Dossier, they did send these to me. They sent them to me, and I only accepted it because I was ready to call Cap, because they have inspired fragrances. They have dupes to some of your favorites. And because I know fragrance, I was like, and I flat out told them, and I was like, I'm really not buying it, so I'm going to try them and see how it goes. And I personally feel the ones that I have tried thus far and heard from others, like they're pretty spot on. So, for example, I have Woody, this one is Woody Sage, which is comparable to Joe Malone's Wood Sage and Sea Salt. And I think Dossier, they're only like 30 or 40 bucks. It smells just like Joe Malone's Wood Sage and Sea Salt. And then this is Woody Chestnut, which is supposed to be replicas, Maison Margiela replicas by the fireplace. It smells just like it. But they're $40 as opposed to $100, $120. So I'm not, like, I love a good fragrance, but I don't think I'm that bougie when it comes to a fragrance. Because at the end of the day, the notes, like the fragrance is the fragrance. Some people know fragrance enough to know like the notes and the elements. If someone walked by me wearing one of those, I'm going to say it's Joe Malone. I'm going to say it's replica. I'm not going to say, oh, you're wearing Dossier that tried to be like the other ones. You're not going to fucking know. You're not going to know. Dossier's longevity, I haven't really had an issue. I hear people complain about longevity of their fragrances. I don't know. When it comes to fragrance, I'm low-key just like my makeup. I set it and forget it. I never really reapply. I just never have. I don't know. I don't really have any issues with longevity. I do know that someone, one of my mutuals, she got their version of the Baccarat Rouge 540, and she did say she didn't feel, from Dossier, she said she didn't feel like the longevity was there. Maybe that's where I'm kind of lost when it comes to longevity, or maybe it's just because I try to layer well. I don't know. I've never really had any issues with longevity. Maybe because I believe Dossier are eau de toilettes as opposed to eau de parfums, which could play a part in it. But I generally don't wear eau de toilettes. I'm an eau de parfum girl, which is heavier and lasts longer. So I don't have no issue with that. Yeah. What else? Trying to think what else. Jess, what's the difference between what? An eau de toilette and an eau de parfum? Let's see. Do I have some main layer bases that I use? If you're talking about as far as like body butters and things like that, I don't necessarily have like just a main. I talked about that a little bit earlier. I try to use like different body oils and butters that might have some notes that are similar to what I'm going to put on. The only thing that I've used that's kind of been like as neutral is these it's like this lotion and like this body serum, like actually mixing them together from Necessaire. They're fragrance free, but they're actually surprisingly way more nourishing than I thought. So the skin is like really hydrated and supple, and my fragrances go on top. Just the difference between an eau de toilette and an eau de parfum is that an eau de toilette is water-based, where an eau de parfum is fragrance-based. And because it's fragrance-based, it's heavier and more potent, and therefore will last longer. So if you ever see the same fragrance and it has an EDT and an EDP, most people go for EDT because it's cheaper, but it doesn't last as long. Yes. There's also an eau de cologne, which is kind of like oil based, which is heavier, which is going to last even longer. And then solid perfumes, which those are good as well. Let's see, did I miss anything else? Also, when it comes to layering, some fragrance houses are like kind of made and designed to layer. So the brand Jo Malone, they actually are made and designed that you can layer them. I'm still trying to get into layering because I really do think it's a science, and I am scared to walk out the house smelling like a stink bomb. I really want things to settle well together. But Jo Malone, they are designed to layer. So now that we've learned about like the different notes and things like that, I'm feeling a little bit more confident about layering, because I know I like a sandalwood, a cedarwood, or an amber based fragrance. And then I know I like something a little bit more floral in the middle and the top. So that will help me. I can do, let's see. So like if I do a wood sage and sea salt from Jo Malone, I can maybe layer that with something that's a little bit more floral, because I have like the salty and I have like the sea sage. So now I'm going to pick probably a light floral that's not too obtrusive to blend with them, if that makes sense. Let's see. There's a discussion about where to spray. Spraying behind my shoulder really changed the game. I no longer spray on my wrist, also near the elbow as well. Thoughts? Generally, pulse points. Definitely always behind the ear. Pulse points are like probably where you sweat. So I'm definitely behind the ear, definitely in the décolletage, in the cleavage. Real divine feminine, spray your ankles. If you know, you know. Behind the knees, those are my go-tos. Let's see. Yeah, like I think I naturally do go behind. Like I really want to be like enveloped in my fragrance. So like I lift my arms to hug you, you know, anything like that. But yeah, I'm a pulse points girl and ankles. Let's see. Yeah, Shelly. Jo Malone is made to layer. And if you go to some of the websites directly, like if you're not on Sephora, Nordstrom, or anything like that, some of the direct websites will tell you that they are made to layer. Come on, Tashia knows. The ankles, babe. Ankles and behind the knees, and all up in the cleavage. Yes, those are my things. And then my hair. Hair is just a big thing. Like the wind is blowing, she's giving a moment. I want wind chimes to blow when I come by, and then like waft. Okay, like not obtrusive, like your fragrance enters before you do, but enough that there is like an essence about you that when you walk by, someone's like, damn, that was good. Listen, on the ankles, babes. Now I'm going to tell you, on the ankles, And depending on what position you're in, you might get pregnant. I'm just saying. You might get a new bag. I'm just saying. But you're going to get something. You're going to get something if you spray on the ankles. Period. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that was important about fragrances? Let's see. A little recap. We've got spraying the walls down to shit, okay? So a little recap, if you're just coming in, we are talking about fragrance. We have talked about different types of fragrances, eau de toilette versus eau de parfum. We've talked about the structure of a fragrance. You have your base note, your middle note, or the heart of your fragrance, and then your top note or the head of the fragrance. Your base notes are going to be like your cedarwood, your musk, your sandalwood, your ouds. Your middle notes, that's going to be more of like your floral, your spice, and a little bit of earthy elements. And then your top, that's going to be like your lighter florals and your citrus notes. Middle notes probably last about 15 to 20 minutes. And your top notes are probably like 5 to 10 minutes. So that's why you need to let your fragrance settle. When it comes to fragrance longevity, layer your fragrance. And it starts with moisturized skin. Don't be ashy. Pick oils and butters that are either fragrance-free, just to help layer, or pick things that have similar notes to fragrances that you are going to wear. When it comes to storing your fragrances, do not keep them in your bathroom. Do not put them in windowsills. We want to keep them away from heat so it does not break down and destroy your fragrance too soon. Let's see. Erica says, I definitely need to get better at layering because a lot of fragrances I want to love have one note that nauseates me. But if I knew how to layer, I could cut it. Yes, that is a good point. So this was another blind buy, which I'm probably not going to do blind buys again. This was, I don't want to say a fail, but I did a blind buy on this one just purely by looking at the notes. And this is the Kayali Sweet Diamond. So it has like notes of pink pepper, which I just assumed that I would like because I have Tom Ford Rose Prick, which has a pink pepper base. This don't hit the same. It takes so long to settle because there is something in it. There's just something in it that nauseates me. And it takes it so long to settle before I can kind of even enjoy it. And I don't like that. So yeah, and I don't like wasting. So I'm trying to figure out how I can wear this and enjoy it and bring some new life to it. Because just by itself, it's a no. Ooh, so another point, so the Sephora Savings event starts on Friday. And one of the things I am going to focus on is I'm going to be buying fragrance discovery sets because there are different brands that I want to get into. Use it as a toilet spray. I wouldn't mind if it was just in my bathroom. But this is expensive just to be having in the bathroom. But you know what? Now that you say it, Tashia, it smells like poopery. It smells like poopery. There it is. I'm just going to keep it in the bathroom. Anyway, since I got sidetracked, I will be probably buying a bunch of fragrance discovery sets. Or maybe even like a couple like roller balls or like travel sprays of things that I want to try without spending over $100 on the fragrance in the event that I don't like it. So I think there's, I don't know if it's at Sephora, but I did see it. But I will, in the next couple of weeks to a month, be buying a number of fragrance discovery sets. Really figuring out different fragrance houses, ones that I like. I will be buying a full size of a particular fragrance because it has been haunting me ever since I tried it. My one of my girlfriends, she has the Le Labo Another 13 chokehold. And to be very honest, the last time I wore it was probably like was on January 1st. And I had completely like sprayed myself in it. And my wig still smells like it. And I love that for me. It's just so good. I think that might be like my next signature fragrance that I just wear all the time. Le Labo. Le Labo is expensive as hell, but it's so good. It's just so good. I want to try the Byredo fragrances. I've heard that they don't last long. Again, like I said earlier, I'm honestly not really concerned with that type of longevity. Like, because every time someone talks about a fragrance doesn't last long, I'm trying to figure out, is it that they just don't smell themselves anymore? Because I'm pretty sure they still smell like the fragrance. So I'm confused. I don't be getting it. But yeah, do discovery sets, do samples. If you are ever in a store and you are testing, okay, so you're the second person to say that, Adrienne. I still want to try them. Hold fast, Erica. I had to lean in. Bitch, did you just say Le Labo at Costco? Don't tell me that. There's no way Le Labo is at Costco. We can't be talking about the same thing. I'm going to have to do my research. Huh. Okay, so now I'm really going to have to get into... Now I'm going to have to really get into longevity. Maybe I've just been choosing things that have good longevity. I honestly have not really experienced something where I felt that I couldn't smell it or... Shut up. Y'all done fucked around and told me that I can get Le Labo at Costco. And also, Tashia, slide me the information of the fragrance group. Maybe I need to be in fragrance groups. I'm not in fragrance groups. I'll just be out here on my own. Damn. Yeah, Jennifer, I'm sure you're not ashy at all. Huh. Damn, I got sidetracked. Okay, so what I was going to say was, if you are out and you're actually physically testing fragrances, whether you're like spraying them, I was hip to the fine jewelry at Costco. That I was hip to. If you're out and you're testing and you're trying fragrances, a lot of places don't do it anymore, but remember they used to always have coffee beans to like cleanse your palate before you go sniff something else. One, I hated that because I absolutely despise coffee, so that was like the most nauseating thing ever. But the true way to clear your palate, to go from one fragrance to the next, and I learned this when I was working at Nordstrom, and I worked right next to the Joe Malone counter, because I was trying things, and I went to go say, oh, like, where are the coffee beans? And he says, oh, we don't do that. And I was like, well, why not? And he says, that's not the true way to do it. You literally just take a tissue, literally take a Kleenex, and sniff the Kleenex, and then move on to the next fragrance. So, you generally won't see coffee beans anymore when you're out. But if you are somewhere like Sephora or Ulta or something like that, and you don't see anything to clear your palate, go to one of the makeup stations and just take a tissue and sniff that, and that'll clear your palate, so you can sniff something else. Let's see. Listen, I need the information about getting the Le Labo for the low, because I want another 13 and I don't want to spend $395 for it. But I want it so bad because it is so intoxicating and so good. And it really, really lasts. First of all, let's talk about Costco. And people need to stop shitting on Costco. Costco has all of the comparable things to like everything. So I'm sure their diamonds are the same as Tiffany's. And their liquor, Costco's liquor is actually the best. Hands down. Like, do not sleep on Costco's liquor. It's coming from the same place as other people. People be letting marketing and branding get them every single time. So don't be shitting on people like, oh, they got the Kirklands, they got the yup, and do. Costco's really that girl. I was hip to the fine jewelry. See? Costco's that girl. They have everything. Yeah, I honestly got hip to Costco's fine jewelry back in high school. See? I love it. See, this is what I love when the community comes together. This is why we need to do this. Because I definitely thought Erica was fucking lying talking about some Le Labo in Costco. Child. Nigga, I got the best mattress I ever had came out of Costco and it was in a box. Costco's that girl. Period. I love it. And like, I don't have no membership. I used to always just use like my mom's. But yeah, now I need a Costco membership. So I can get fragrance. You know, my computer died, but once that bitch is back up, I gotta figure this out. CJ, my nigga, I miss you. I need to come home ASAP. I miss you guys so bad. I really, really do. Costco's that girl. Ooh, CJ, does Nicole have a Costco membership? Because if she do, we need to go get some fragrances. I don't know. I don't think I've seen a Costco down here since I've been down here in Houston. I'm sure there's one. I just haven't. Oh, y'all got BJ's. WAP. She might have to switch up. But yeah. I'm trying to think. What else about fragrances? Again, I know I said it earlier. Some people are always talking about like feminine versus masculine fragrances, and I don't really. I feel like I used to say that, but you know, everything want to be gender fluid these days, and it's not even about trying to be politically correct. But once you really learn notes and things like that, there really is no masculine versus feminine. Like, for example, Baccarat Rouge 540. A lot of people wear it. I actually prefer smelling it on a man than on a woman. When women walk by me and they have it on, it don't hit the same as when men wear it. But when I look at the notes, I can see definitely why I like it. If you were to look at the notes of Baccarat Rouge 540, it appears to be more feminine than anything. But I love it. Let's see. What else? Listen. I'm telling you, Baccarat Rouge had me in a chokehold because the first time I smelled it on a man. A man that deserves to wear it, okay? Like, every time I see that meme that'll be like, don't put on cologne that makes me turn my head if you ugly. Please don't. Please don't waste my time. Please don't have my pussy out here pulsating and then I turn around and you look like a gremlin. I'm going to be really, really mad. You don't deserve that fragrance. Like, imagine if Daniel Caesar came walking by and smelled delectable and I turn my head and I see that little ungrateful gremlin. I'm going to be mad. You don't deserve to wear it. You should not be wearing it. And since I brought his little ugly ass up, I do not accept Daniel Caesar's apology. You gonna shit on black women, cape in for that dusty ass white girl, and then gonna say, I dare y'all to cancel me. And every black woman said, bet. And now he come back with this dry ass apology just because he has a new album coming out. And he's still talking shit. Because there were a lot of people that was like, nigga, your apology is too little too late. So then he gonna go back on Twitter talking about because people still calling him ugly, and he gonna say, oh, it's only ugly people calling me ugly. You didn't even fix your mouth before you fixed your mouth to talk shit. Mouth still jacked. Dumbass apology. And it's sad because he really makes good music, but you are a gremlin. Pretty privilege is a thing, male or female, and he too ugly to be talking shit. I said it. I've been holding that shit in all week. Oh, he gets on my nerves so bad. Like, you literally don't have the room or the range, sir. He probably just like wear like little body oils from like a mall kiosk anyway. But then I had to remember, like, it's the way he said sorry. Then I was like, oh, he's fucking Canadian. I didn't even really realize it. All Canadian niggas are weird. They're weird and awkward. But anyway, fragrances. I had to get that off my chest. I'm trying to think. I mean, if we're done talking fragrance, like, we definitely can switch to whatever else y'all want to talk about. But my homework is, some of y'all have homework to cue me in on these fragrance groups, because I need to be hip. So I'm writing down my notes. Fragrance groups. Your girl would like to be included. Also, I need to be... Baby, you know how I feel about Mr. Graham. He's still weird. I love him, but let's be clear. Canadian niggas are different. Daniel Caesar, Tory Lanez, Drake, Tristan Thompson, fucking weird ass Canadians. Weird ass Canadians. Weird emo Canadians. Okay. Let's see. Le Labo at Costco. I need to get into it. Apparently y'all are saying stay away from Byredo. I still want to try them. But, you know. Let's see. Ooh, let's talk about microaggressions at these jobs and how I want to wake up wealthy because working is for the birds. Ciao. I don't have no liquor in my cup, but I'm going to sip my tea. The microaggressions at work. I don't know if Adrian's still in here, but Adrian had posted something the other day. Adrian, if you're still in here, I think it was like an article I saw you post, and I think I saw someone else posted today talking about how black women are never going to be enough anyway, so like why are we even trying? And I didn't even get a chance to I meant to save it so I could look at it later, but honestly that's kind of like where I am. It just seems like no matter what we do, it's never enough. So like in many regards I'm just not trying. Okay, I don't know why they're cutting me off at an hour now. I'm still here. I'm still ready to talk some shit, which is fine because now this is just like an hour. We got through like an hour of fragrance. I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. I'm going to come back on here really quick so we can just like shoot the shit and whatever. So the next one I'm not gonna save, but this one I'm going to save. So this live about fragrance will be saved. And so I love you all. I'm gonna hop off just to hop right back on.